Whoa, wait. Before you guys thinking of hitting that fast forward button, you do want to hear me out. This week, we are going to do the biggest giveaway our channel has ever done before. And you guys do want to stick around until the middle or the end part of this video to see how you can qualify for this giveaway. I'm going to give you guys a hint. We might just be able to give away a full epoxy table to one of you guys, shipping international on our cost. So now that I've got your full attention, hear me out. The reason why we are doing this giveaway is we are on the verge of hitting 100,000 subscribers. And I thought to myself this week, let's do a massive giveaway on the channel. We've never done a giveaway before, and I think it's time to do the first one. And as this video progresses, I'm going to give you guys a few hints on how you can qualify for this giveaway. The first hint I want to give you guys is you have to watch the full video to be able to qualify for this giveaway. For all the new viewers out there, my name is Greg from DIY with Greg, and our channel is all about DIY projects. And you will think not all of this is DIY, but if you look at my history, we started off as a DIY channel, and we are mainly still focusing on helping you guys achieve your goals. Our channel is mainly based on epoxy projects, but we do have other few fun projects like bookshelves, floating shelves, coffee tables, bedside tables, and there's so many DIY projects on my channel that you guys can go and check it out. This week's project, we were commissioned to build an 8-seater epoxy table for one of our clients. They wanted a frost smoky black finish, custom steel base with a glass top to protect the epoxy long term. I'm going to show you guys the step-by-step methods we took to achieve this project, and I'm going to go through the whole build to show you guys our methods, our techniques, and maybe by the end of this video I would have taught you something on epoxy tables. Just to make a few things clear to you guys, there are no university or college that you can go to that's going to teach you how to build epoxy tables. Yes, there's courses on how to do carpentry and how to become a master at carpentry, but there's no schedule or book that's going to teach you the methods of epoxy tables. So this art and craft you guys are going to see in this video and all the other videos we posted on our channel is something I taught myself many years ago. We went through the great lengths and struggles, failures. We went through it all to teach ourselves how to build epoxy tables. And I think in this video, I might be a little bit clear in helping you guys achieving your goals in building epoxy tables. Or, you know, most of you guys are only watching for entertainment purposes, but there are many people that's watching for educational reasons in building epoxy tables. So just a quick rundown what you guys missed in the first 3 minutes. We took our slab into the flattening process to make it flat on top and at the bottom. Once that's done, we're going to remove all the bark, because you don't want to cast epoxy when there's bark, because it's just going to come off too easy. Once all the bark has been removed, we're going to build a white melamine sheet. This is to capture all the epoxy into the mold to make sure that there's no leaks whatsoever. You're basically creating a dam. Once that's done, we're going to add some silicone into all the corners to make sure the epoxy is not going to leak out. Then we're going to apply some ram wax to make sure that the epoxy is not going to stick to the white melamine sheet. Then we're going to place our wood into our mold we just built. Then we're going to clean everything thoroughly. We're going to mix our epoxy. Then we're going to move to the casting process. A quick tip I want to leave with you guys in, if you want to see how your end color is going to look, you need to take a transparent cup. Put about more or less the same epoxy, then what you're going to plan, you're going to cast the thickness of your table, then you're going to see what your end color is going to look more or less. So we built this vacuum chamber to help us remove all the air bubbles from our epoxy mixture. Now, it was too expensive to buy one, so we built one ourselves. We are going to clamp our pieces of wood down. This is to make sure that our wood is not going to float once we're going to cast our epoxy. So it's literally impossible for me to go into detail on exactly everything you need to know to build epoxy tables successfully. So we took the liberty, the last 6, 7, 8 years we manufactured epoxy tables. We made an epoxy online masterclass going into detail on how we manufacture all our tables. This course is up for sale and it's going to help you start your epoxy journey. If you are a DIYer, a hobbyist, or if you are planning to start a company building epoxy tables, this course is exactly for you. It's designed for all woodworkers and it's going to help you. I am going to leave a short preview of what you guys can expect in this course. And remember guys, the course are obviously a small fee for all our hard work. The course's price are going up roundabout in the middle of this month, so you guys do want to make sure to go and check it out. We already sold more than 1,000 of these courses and it helped a ton of people starting companies, or if you just want to start a small DIY project or building stuff for friends and family, this course is designed for you. I am going to leave a link down in the description where you can find this course. Thanks guys. We've been building epoxy tables for many years now, and we are finally going to share all our methods and techniques with you. My name is Greg, and I am going to show you how to build the perfect epoxy table. I'm going to take you through the step-by-step methods we take in building epoxy tables on a daily basis. I'm going to show you all the tools you need, exactly how to use them, and throw in some tips and tricks down the line. This masterclass has been designed for all woodworkers, from your beginner all the way up to your experts. Everyone thinks you need to cast your second layer of epoxy once your first layer has set. That's not true. You need to cast your second layer of epoxy once your first layer has become tacky. Click on this video or in the description down below for more information. Why are we giving away a full 8-seater epoxy table? There's only one reason why. Obviously, we are on the verge of hitting 100,000 subscribers, so I guess by now you obviously realize that you need to be subscribed to our channel. You need to like this video and you need to comment down below that you have done so. But the giveaway is only going to happen once we hit 200,000 subscribers. Now you think that's a lot, but listen to this stat quickly. There's only 30% of people that's watching our videos that subscribe to the channel. And we are averaging between 300,000 and 600,000 views per month. That means that's estimate 6 million views per year. So why aren't any of that people subscribing to our channel? This is obviously my dream to be one of the biggest YouTubers out there, and by giving away an epoxy table, hopefully we can achieve 200,000 subscribers, and it's going to help me to reach my goal. So help me reach my dream just by subscribing to the channel and liking this video. And if I can give you guys some really good advice out there, all the other YouTube channels that you are watching out there, that you support, that you like the content, a simple like and a simple comment just saying like awesome will really help with the algorithm, and it will really help our small YouTube companies grow into something special. I mean, honestly, if you guys have a dream out there and you got a platform like YouTube or social media, it's just honestly in good faith to ask people to help you, to support you. So thank you guys for supporting the channel thus far. Thank you for the subscribers that's watching our content from way back. We really appreciate you guys. And welcome and thank you for all the new subscribers out there that's going to support us from here on forward. Thank you for the support, guys. Back to the video. So we are using a deep casting epoxy for all our tables, but we normally don't cast the full thickness of the table. We like casting 2 to 3 layers when we do our castings on our tables. We discovered that is going to help you to reduce as as much air bubbles as possible. But if you're going to use a solid color with deep casting epoxy, we will definitely cast the full thickness of the table. Most of our tables we are building is like a transparent see-through color. We like casting into layers. You'll see this is going to help you to remove all your air bubbles. The deep casting epoxy does tend to take longer to cure over time. To make sure that there's no dust particles going into the epoxy, we are using this white film we normally protect our furniture from when we're going to deliver it, to place it over the table. This is helping us, especially when it comes to a dusty shop. Or you can have an area that's dust free, but we are limited to space. We are, however, going to look for a new shop. We are actually in the process of looking at a few new shops, and you will most probably see within the next few weeks the new shop we just got. This is a total blessing for us. Once we are done casting the full depth of our epoxy table, we will leave it for around about 7 days. This is giving the epoxy and the reaction it's going to make enough time to cure fully. If you're going to take it out of the mold too quick, you might have a problem with wood movement, especially when you're going to remove the epoxy table from your casting table. You'll see in summer months the epoxy does tend to set a little bit quicker. In winter months it does take a little bit longer to set fully. Once we are done waiting for the period for our epoxy to set fully, it's time to move on to the next step, and that is to flatten your table on top and at the bottom. And this is where I want to encourage you guys. We are a small woodworking company. This means we obviously don't have all the tools we need to build epoxy tables, and we get this comment a lot, is people saying that how can a DIY channel achieve all these goals and have all these expensive tools and it's not true. We started at the bottom with lower end tools and we started working our way up. You know, to be someone successful, to be a big company, YouTube just came along and helped us with this journey. So what we done is, we obviously don't have the money to buy a massive CNC machine. So I went on to our woodworking Facebook groups locally in the area I'm from, and we asked the question, who has got a CNC machine that can charge us a fee to flatten our tables? And you know what? We had a ton of response. Just the same as for a huge drum sander. We asked the question on the woodworking Facebook groups, you know, who can help us with a belt sander? And you know, there's a ton of guys that has these tools available for you to use at a small fee. And I want to encourage you guys, do this. I mean, there's a lot of people that will be able to help you guys out there that's got the equipment, and this is the route we are taking. Obviously, when we're going to grow into a much bigger company, we will obviously invest in a CNC machine. Hopefully, touch wood, you know, someone with a very large company that's supplying CNC machines see this video and they'll sponsor one. We pray for that, touch wood. Just a joke, guys. So the last couple of months, we've done some experiments on the videos we're posting on YouTube. And I would love to get your input on the following. So there's a lot of people that's complaining I am talking too much in my videos. So I done an experiment where I posted a few videos where I'm not talking. And you know, you still get people that complain about every single thing we do. Either I'm talking too much or either I'm not talking at all. So I'm thinking the solution to this is just doing what I love and putting content out there to help other people. What's your opinion on this? Do you think I should talk a little bit less? Do you think I shouldn't talk at all? Or do you think I should just talk through the whole video and explain the step-by-step methods we are taking in building our tables? I would love to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. So once we have our table back at our shop from the CNC supplier, it's time to sand all the CNC marks away. And we are starting with our big belt sander, then we are moving to our Festool Rotex machine. The next step in our project is to mix a little bit of epoxy, and that's to close all the cracks and holes and all the small imperfections on the table. Obviously, you don't want the client to rub a cloth over the table where there's some cracks and holes where the cloth is going to separate or leave some wool marks or whatever behind, or you know, if they're gonna mess some wine or beer or coffee or whatever, that is going going to soak into the cracks. And we are going to start off by cleaning these cracks and holes with an airbrush. We are going to apply a thin layer of epoxy over the complete surface of our wood. If you're only going to close the cracks and holes with epoxy, that epoxy that's going to overflow on that crack, once it's going to be hardened and you're going to sand it down, it's going to leave a small stain mark on the table. We've experienced this on the first tables we ever built, and the solution to this is to basically stain the whole top part of your table. And we're only going to achieve that by applying a thin layer of epoxy over the complete surface of our table. Once we are done applying that thin layer of epoxy over the wooden section, then you'll see the cracks and holes are going to soak up the epoxy. That's where you're going to come afterwards and close that small imperfections with epoxy. Then we're going to leave that for around about 2 days to set fully. Then we're going to continue with the sanding process. So the main reason why we are doing this huge giveaway, giving a full 8-seater epoxy table away on our cost. You choose the wood, you choose the color of the epoxy, you choose the steel base. We will manufacture the table for you and we will ship it for you at our cost. You pay for nothing. But there's a massive catch in this giveaway. And you need to like this video, you need to be subscribed to our channel, and the winner is going to be selected on this video. So you need to leave a comment down below that you have done so, that you've entered, you've liked the video, you've subscribed, and you have entered into the competition and you would like to win this table. Let me share a quick stat with you guys. So over the last 4 years, since we started doing YouTube videos and started recording our projects and posting it like on a weekly base on YouTube, we've got almost a total of 15 million views on all the videos we ever posted on YouTube. Why aren't these views turning over into subscribers? This is why I'm doing the huge giveaway. 200,000 subscribers is not a lot, guys. I mean, I've got like, I think 6, 7, 8 videos. That's more than 1 million views. If I can just turn that over into subscribers, we might do some more giveaways in the future. I also done a bit of soul searching the last couple of months, building epoxy tables and posting it. I mean, we got hundreds of the same videos that I'm actually getting bored of. So if you got any new ideas, or if you want me to build something specific, I might just pick your project to build next. It can be anything. It can be a wood and epoxy golf stick, or it can be epoxying a plant, or whatever the case may be. What do you guys want me to build next? I'm asking for help and I might just be picking your project to do next. So let me know in the comment section down below. What would you like me to build? The next step in our project is to cut our table down to its final size, and I'm using my HK85 Festool circular saw to do that. Once that's done, we're going to sand our table down to 180 grit. Once that's done, we are going to give our table a small 45-degree chamfer right around. And we like to do this on the top side and at the bottom side. We like to keep the thickness of the table. A quick tip from my side is we like sanding our table to 180 grit. Then we will do our routering of the 45-degree chamfer right around. Then we will continue sanding because the router will always leave a little bit of scratch marks on your table, and the ball bearing of the router will always make a small little groove on the side of your table. That's why we sand to 180 grit. Then we will continue sanding to whatever finish the client requires. This means if they want a frost smoky finish, we will typically sand to 320 or 400 grit. Or if they want a high gloss finish, we will obviously sand to 1500 grit and then continue with the polishing stages. Because this client wanted a frost smoky finish, we're only going to sand to 400 grit sandpaper. So what we like to do once we are done with the 400 grit sandpaper, we would like to use a bright scorch pad in sanding the epoxy section. This is going to allow you to remove all the swirl marks from your table. We will repeat this process 3 to 4 times, going one side to the table, going to the other side of the table, and you'll see this is absolutely magic. And a quick tip, if you decide to use the scorch pad, once you go to the one side of the table, always remember to wipe off the white dust the epoxy makes before you're going to continue with the next layer of sanding. The last thing we normally do before we move on to the oiling stages is we will use this sponge pad on the top side of the epoxy and the wooden section. That is to remove the last bits of dust particles from your table. It's going to clean your table thoroughly to make sure that there's no dust particles whatsoever. We will use an air hose to remove all the last dust particles from our table, and then we will move to the oiling stages. So the one question we get a lot from our viewers as well is in asking how long does it take to manufacture one of these tables. It takes us around about 4 weeks from the day we start to the day we deliver. There's enormous amount of labor that goes into building these tables. There's super amount of quality checks that goes into this, and the epoxy is really expensive. That's why these tables are just, I won't say overpriced, but they are really expensive. Moving to the oiling stage of our process, we like using Odie's oil on all our epoxy tables for multiple of reasons. On all the other wooden projects, we like using Rubio Monocoat because you can only sand to 180 grit. Odie's claim you can sand to whatever grit your heart desires, and this allows us to sand the wood and the epoxy section on our table to whatever grit our heart desires. So for this table, we sanded to 400 grit, and it allowed us to sand the epoxy section also to 400 grit. Because if you're going to use Rubio Monocoat, how are you going to sand between the wooden and the epoxy section, the wooden part to 180 grit and the epoxy section to 400 grit? It's literally impossible. And with all honesty saying, the huge battle in the oiling industry is between Rubio and Odie's. And honestly speaking, we like using both of those oils because it is world-class oils. The last thing I want to say regarding the oiling process is that Odie's claim you only need one coat of oil, but we've picked up that on some projects, when we get back to the table around about 2 to 3 weeks once we delivered it, it looks like the table is really thirsty. So that's why in the building process, we like applying 2 coats of Odie's oil. We will typically start with the Odie's oil Super Duper, which is a more penetrating oil. Then we will move to the Odie's oil Original. This allows us and allows the table to be penetrated nicely with the oil, and there will be no issues whatsoever in the future. So before we end this video, we didn't have the privilege to take super beautiful photos because the client was still in the building process of their house, and we ended up delivering the table to their storage unit. So we did, however, take some beautiful shots of the table. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And before you guys go, remember the massive giveaway. We are building and designing a table according to your taste and like, and we're going to ship it for free for you. So remember to like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below that you have done so. The winner is going to be picked onto this video. Good luck to everyone, and I'll see you guys next week with another super cool build. Thanks guys, cheers.